Good day and welcome to Kitty's Corner. Since my last video on Toddler Tantrums, my 2-year-old has really upped her game. She changed her tactics to advance to take me and my husband to a whole new parenting level. So much fun. She upped her game with non-stopping tantrums and emotional meltdowns so that even our trusty go-tos no longer work. We therefore got some extra and a little bit of professional help, which I would like to share with you today. If you find some useful information in this video, kindly like and subscribe so that I can continue making videos on useful parenting tips. Without further ado, here are 11 tips to help you and your toddler overcome this very challenging stage. Tip number 1. You are going to be late. Accept it. Go through the 5 stages of grief if you have to. The sooner you realize you are going to be late, the better. Remember, it's better to have a sincere apology to someone than to have a broken spirit. Tip number 2. Realize that your child is in fight or flight mode. No amount of reasoning, screaming, threatening, or punishment will help them to calm down. Physically, they cannot understand you because their brains are in distress. See it for what it is and have some empathy on their developing brain. Tip number 3. Mom, Dad, you calm down. Your child will never learn to regulate if you cannot regulate yourself. Unfortunately, my generation, especially in South Africa, were forced by a generation that also didn't know how to regulate themselves. They didn't know any better, so don't judge them, but do not make the same mistake. Tip number 4. Realize that your child's brain is still developing. They might feel frustrated, upset, tired, or overwhelmed, and they do not have the vocabulary or the understanding to express how they feel. They just know that they don't feel well, and the feeling can overwhelm them. If you understand this, you can see the frustration in your child rather than just the angry outbursts. Tip number 5. Now that you have yourself under control, make a conscious decision to be calm and consistent. Repeat your instructions calmly. You will see that if you are calm, then your child will not see you as a threat. If you keep on being consistently calm, then they will actually start to listen to you, and you will see that the tantrums and the meltdowns are actually shorter in duration. Tip number 6. If your toddler is anything like mine, do not pick them up and do not touch them. Stay within their proximity, let's say about a meter or 2 away, and ask them, "Can I pick you up?" Use a calm but a firm voice to say something like, "Do you want me to stay? Do you want me to leave? Should I pick you up?" With my toddler, I've seen that most of the time she says no, she doesn't want me to leave. So when I finally get her to listen to me, after repeating calmly, "Do you want me to leave?" and she maybe says, "No, I don't want you to leave," that is my cue to say something like, "Okay, calm down, stop crying, and I'll pick you up." Or I will say something like, "I'm not going to pick you up if you keep on shouting and screaming." And I will also say it in a voice like I said it to you now. You need to be firm, you need to set the boundaries, but you need to be calm. It should not come across as threatening. Tip number 7. When they are in their meltdown, they need to understand that you will not leave them. Even if you stand a meter or 2 away, do not leave the room. Be in their presence. If you are consistent, this will create security for them, and it will also help them wanting to be picked up by you when they feel upset. Tip 8 is confusing, because sometimes you need to refuse to give them what they want, but you mustn't always refuse them. Sometimes you need to give in, and it's very difficult to find that balance. If you always give in to their demands, then they learn that this behavior will get them what they want. But if you always refuse them, they might feel that their needs are not being met. When you can distinguish between their wants and their needs, then you will make the right choice. Good luck and Godspeed. Tip number 9. When they are finally calm enough for you to pick them up, then this is a good time to lighten the mood. You can make a joke or say something that is funny. Toddlers are so forgiving, and if they smile or laugh, you will both feel much better, even if you deny them what they want. This is also a good time to suggest an alternative to whatever they want. Tip number 10. We are all just human, but it's very important for you to show a lot of grace and love during your toddler's tantrums. Offer something of comfort to them, maybe a blanket or a dummy or a favorite toy. The saying goes, you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. And finally, tip number 11. If you are consistent, and yes, unfortunately, this takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, the tantrums and the meltdowns actually become shorter and easier to manage. If you need to step out for a moment to compose yourself, do that. And in this time, remind yourself that your toddler is actually still just a baby. They are still developing. They've got big emotions that overwhelm them, things that they do not understand. They feel frustrated and they just don't know how to communicate it. Big emotions can confuse all of us sometimes. I really hope that these tips will help you because it's really made a difference in our lives. And if you get it wrong, be graceful to yourself. We all just sometimes need a hug, need to be helped, or just someone to say that I understand what you're going through. May Abba bless you and your family. May He give you the courage of a lion, but the gentleness of a dove. And Mommy, you are doing a good job. If you find anything useful in this video, please like and subscribe to help me to make more useful parenting tips. Kindly like and subscribe so that I can continue making tips. I don't want to make tips.